Hey, it's not morning, it's evening. We made it to the UK. Um, Minimal jet lag, a little bit of jet lag. Jean Granny is doing fine. She looks really good. She still had to stay in the hospital today until Monday because they want to make sure everything's stable. But every day she's getting better. And so she'll be home with us on Monday, and then we're going to hang out for a couple of weeks and make sure she gets even better. Project Granny is what I'm calling it. What have I worked on? Knitting wise, I'm designing a little top down cardigan out of bulky weight, chunky. I hope I get it done because it's kind of chilly. It's just a very simple raglan design, but I kind of had in my head this single cable down just one side of the front. And it'll be on the right side, even though I had wanted it to be on the left, but it looks like I changed that. So it'll be down the right side of the sweater with just a single 3/3 cable down the front. And I'm working on my increases still. I haven't divided for sleeves yet. And in fact, this afternoon I ran out of yarn, so I had to quit. But I wound another skein up with Jean this afternoon, and I'm ready for a second skein. I'm a little concerned I'm going to run out of project. I do have an unfinished project with me, a crochet one, that I've just ripped out. So it will keep me occupied. But I'm not sure I have enough yarn with me. I probably should have brought a skein or more. I'm going to put in a little clip here about I took some video footage around the hospital where Granny's staying, Jean's staying. It looks a little rough on the outside, but the ladies who are taking care of her are lovely. The hospitals are much older here. Let's just face it. And it's interesting. So the hospital area she's in, her building was built in the 60s that she's in. But the entire hospital itself started out, we figure, as a miners' union sort of hospital setup. And I guess at the turn of the century, there was no National Health Service. So just like in the US, if you could afford medical care, you had cash. And if you couldn't, you didn't get it. So in the rise of the Industrial Revolution and unions, a lot of those unions put together hospital systems for themselves and put in insurance plans. And so we figure, and this is supposition on our part, but we figure because that hospital was built in 1902, that it probably was one of those schemes. Now you're going to see the video right here because those are Edwardian buildings. So the hospital system itself, and then David's cousin lives right up the street from the hospital, and we parked in front of his house. Not the video I show you, but in that area. So those are examples of Victorian row houses, but they were built in 1902. So when did Queen Victoria die? 1902 probably still was the Victorian era here, right? There's some overlap right at the turn of the centuries when the Victorian era became the Edwardian era. And so these houses are row houses, but they have
22nd of January 1901.
Oh, so it is the Edwardian era officially. 22nd of January 1901. So that hospital was built right after Queen Victoria died, and very likely those houses were as well, just because of the motifs in the windows. But there's also a lot of Victorian with the clay banisters on the tops of the gates, that's just gorgeous, and then fretwork along the roof lines. And that video is right here. The town David grew up in is not the prettiest town, and there's a lot of industrial not so prettiness, but there are points, and I'm going to show you a few clips of some of the prettier aspects of Newport. This town was, I think, largely built either in the Victorian or even into the Edwardian period, so like early 1900s. This hospital, and this is where Granny is, she's down there in that building below, was, we think, built as part of the miners' union because they started building hospitals before the NHS existed, which is the National Health Service. This hospital was here. And I'll show you some nicer looking buildings from the front. This is the inner gubbins and the rough part. Up here is I think the original entrance to the hospital. So I'll show you that one as we right there. There, this is the original building, and it says 1902 right up above, right up there. And then across the street is a Quickie Mart. But this is a huge hospital. Oh, there's the 1902 as well. So that must have been the old main entrance. Oh, so at 8 p.m.
Oh,
there's some more houses.
is it Sunday today or Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday, okay.
I love see the tile up on the ridge line?
Yeah.
So beautiful. And I would imagine in the UK you can probably get replacements for that, but we
Yes.
can't in the US that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so there's some of the doors, and see the windows, see the stained glass in the windows, and that's very Edwardian, so 1900s. And then these newel posts are beautiful. Here. All right, then the final topic for today is weird food things that you never thought about. In the UK, according to my husband, now I'm pretty sure some of you guys, and please put in the comments below if you can find an instance of English breakfast tea being sold in England. But we're in Wales, and at the grocery store, there was no English breakfast. None, zero, nada. We could not find tea bags for English breakfast tea. There was PG Tips. There was Yorkshire tea. There was Darjeeling tea, which we bought. There was Ceylon tea, which we bought. And then what was the type of tea you almost bought? Assam tea, which David thinks is as close to English breakfast as possible, only we couldn't buy it in tea bags. We would have had to buy it in loose leaf, and we were being lazy. We didn't want to deal with loose leaf because you got to get out the teapot, blah, 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 or a tea ball, and I don't even know if David's mother has them. So, weird thing number one, they don't have English breakfast tea in England. Maybe.
No, we do. Black tea.
It's called black tea here.
Why would we call it English, especially in Wales?
Especially in Wales, yeah, right. So that's a funnyism, isn't it? The other thing, Jello, called jelly here. Jello doesn't come in powdered form. There's a hunk of jelly in here, like squishy jelly. And there is a flavor. Oh, I didn't buy the flavor in the end. They had mango. I didn't buy it. I bought lemon, strawberry, orange, and raspberry jelly right here. Mostly because we read an article that said that gelatin could be good for gastrointestinal health. Plus, easy for Jean to eat right now. So we got that. And I like a good Jello anyway, right? Or jelly, because I'm in the UK. All right, those are your two funny things. A little bit of tour around Newport, but just a tiny bit. And progress so far in my project. Definitely put messages below. Jean's watching these, so she will see messages below if you wish her get well. And she'll probably enjoy it, and I'll make sure she sees it because I'm going in to visit her in her hospital place tomorrow again. Then she'll be home on Monday. All right. See you on Wednesday with more progress on the sweater and maybe a little hello from Jean. Bye.